Hello, and welcome to another episode of our pronunciation critique series. My name's Joe Previtt, the creator of the English Bite community, and I'm super excited to have you here today in this video where we're going to be taking a look at a non-native English programmer's YouTube video of him speaking and teaching something else to the dev community. And now, if you're new to this series, the whole purpose is to critique non-native English programmers speaking for two reasons. One, it helps them get better and notice, oh, those are things that stick out to a native English speaker. Two, we want to look for patterns because what you can do as a non-native English speaker is start to analyze other people's English and notice patterns. Oh, that sound sticks out to non-native or sticks out to native English speakers when I say it that way. And that's going to help you get better at your own pronunciation and speaking, because at the end of the day, the more you can reduce your accent, the greater impact it's going to have on your career as a programmer. Because whether we like it or not, recruiters are going to judge you based on your English, coworkers are going to judge you based on your English. And so we want to do everything that we can, or I want to do everything I can, to help you get better at English, so that you have positive impacts on your career. And English isn't the thing that holds you back in any way. So let's get into it. So today, the person that we're going to be critiquing is a good friend of mine. His name is Catalin Pitt, and he's a member of the English Bite community. Him and I have been friends on Twitter for a while now, and he is somebody that I admire and respect. And he even has his own YouTube channel where he puts out content in English, which is not his native language. So we're going to be taking a look at one of those videos that he shared with me. So let me pull that up. And so the way that we do this, if you're new to this series, is we watch it twice. The first time we watch 1 minute and we don't say anything. We just kind of take in things, I'll start to take mental notes. Then we'll watch it a second time where I'll pause and point out things that stick out, either things that he does well or things that he could improve upon. So let's restart the video and hit play.
This video covers the conventional way of building full-stack applications and why manually building your backend is not always the best choice. You'll see an alternative solution that can be used standalone or coupled with your custom-built backend. The conventional approach to developing full-stack applications involves the tedious and time-consuming process of building the entire application from scratch. The backend development requires setting and configuring servers, implementing the business logic, and managing databases. Building and maintaining a complex backend from scratch would take substantial resources. So why reinvent the wheel when you can use an existing solution that you can tailor to your needs through custom code? It's important to mention that a custom-built backend might be the most appropriate solution in certain scenarios. However, in most cases, an existing solution that you can tailor to your needs through code is more than...
Okay, so for the second time, I'm going to turn on captions. Also a great thing you can do because this is a guess because, all the captions that I see are usually in English, occasionally Spanish, but generally, if you have good pronunciation and flow and intonation and you're enunciating your words, YouTube's auto caption feature is going to accurately represent the words that come out of your mouth. So that's kind of like a little indicator you can use, right? If you upload a video, watch the captions that are auto-generated, see how accurate they are. You might find something that you thought you were pronouncing correctly, you're pronouncing incorrectly. So let's go to the beginning and let's critique this.
This video covers the
So again, this one is one that we've seen over and over again. The TH, one of the most difficult sounds, especially if you come from like a Romance language background. I believe Catalan's native language is Romanian, if I'm not mistaken. But the TH here kind of sounds like a D. So you can kind of hear that.
This video...
Right, it sounds like he's saying dis, right? Rather than like your tongue is between your teeth, this. So that's one thing that he could work on.
covers the conventional way of building full stack applications.
Full. So they're a full, kind of like, I think we saw this in one of the last videos, somebody who's a Portuguese speaker. The vowels are kind of tricky in English. So here it sounds, what I'm hearing as a native speaker is full, right? Rather than full, right? You hear the difference there. So that's something that I would be aware of as well.
And why manually building your backend is not
Building. So again, we kind of get that vowel there too. The flow, the grammar, the vocabulary, like all of that, I think Catalan's got very down. Like I could see myself working with him. He could probably be working with you. You know, I would bet that he has a lot of experience working with international teams because it seems like he has no problem communicating technical concepts.
not always the best choice. You'll see an alternative.
Yul. So there, Yul. Right, but if you look at the captions, they're generated. Like he's got good enunciation. There's just a lot of like, I want to say like Romanian or native language accent affecting his pronunciation. Mostly the vowels.
Alternative solution that can be used standalone or coupled with your custom
Coupled. So I'm trying to figure out what it is. There's something that is like triggering my native English brain of like, whoa, you know, of something in his accent.
build backend.
So I think one thing that might be helpful is for me to imitate his accent and then say it as if I were speaking normally in my own accent.
Alternative solution that
Alternative solution, you know, versus like alternative solution.
way of building full stack applications
Of building full stack applications, right? So like one of the things, the greatest ways that you can improve your pronunciation is imitating other native speakers. So obviously he's speaking at a slow pace. It's very easy for me to imitate. If you were to watch, you know, somebody else, this technique is called shadowing or chorusing, depending on how you do it. So let's jump ahead a little bit.
The conventional approach to developing full stack applications involves the tedious and time consuming
So there, right? So TDS, that's how you would say the acronym. And so the word that he's saying actually here is tedious. So it would be interesting if I said the same thing, would like the captions get it correctly? But that's what I was saying when you can use the captions and speech-to-text tools to see if it's understanding your English or if your pronunciation is good.
process of building the entire application.
Entire, right? Entire. So again, it's a lot of the vowels, which I think is probably the hardest part of English pronunciation, at least American English.
And from scratch. The backend development
Backend, the backend development.
requires setting and configuring servers,
Servers versus servers.
implementing the business logic, and managing databases. Building
Databases. So I wish I had a name for it. I'm just gonna call it the native language bad guy. You know, that's really what it is.
and maintaining a complex backend from scratch would take substantial resources. So
Resources, right? Versus resources. So there it's the intonation, right? Resources versus resources. You know what I'm saying?
why reinvent the wheel when you can use an
Wheel. So the like there at the end of that word.
existing solution that you
Solution, right? Versus solution.
can tailor to your needs through custom code.
Custom. So the other thing that you could pay attention to is if you go in front of a mirror and say these things. I can't see my camera right now, so I can't tell you exactly what it should look like, but custom versus custom.
It's important to mention that a custom built backend might be the most appropriate solution.
Appropriate. So, and this is a hunch. If you watch his lips, he doesn't like his lips, you know, they don't move very far. So that could be something that he could work on as well. I'd have to look in the mirror to see what mine looks like. But I would bet that if he, I guess, used some of the mouth muscles a little bit more, or paid attention to what a native speaker does, he might get the right sounds to come out, or I don't want to say right, but like round them out a little bit more
in certain scenarios. However, in most cases,
however, right? So like, at least I can feel it in my mouth of like my lips coming in closer versus like his are very, I don't want to say lazy, but that's kind of what it looks like, of like his lips aren't moving as much, which is, I think, is what is you could attribute to some of these different sounds.
this is an existing solution that you can tailor to your needs through code.
Tailor to your needs. To your needs.
Is more than enough.
Is more than enough. Is more than enough, right? So, yeah, I mean, overall, I think, this is an example of somebody's English that you want to reach, right? Being able to talk about complex topics like this in front of a camera is really difficult, even for native English speakers. Being able to use technical vocabulary, right? Like, he has no issue with that. Teaching people, right? Breaking down complex things and being able to explain them, that's going to help you a ton in the interview process. And that's going to help you stand out. The pronunciation, that's more of like, when you're interviewing, you don't want to remind them that you're a non-native English speaker, right? Like, to me, this has happened with my Spanish, of when I've gotten to a really high level of like them forgetting that I'm not a native Spanish speaker. And that's kind of what you want to achieve as a non-native English speaker. So yeah, that's the pronunciation critique. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks again for watching. If you're interested in having me do this for you, drop a comment below, link me to a video, and I'd be happy to do so. And that's all. If you want help landing a remote dev job by improving your English, I send a weekly newsletter. You can sign up at EnglishBite.com. It goes out every Monday, and it's got 5 tips, including ones around pronunciation, to help you improve your English. Cheers.